Hello and welcome. My name is Tom, and that is our dog Ben, and you're sitting at the couples table.
And I'm Heather. You didn't let me say my
I know, but Ben barked.
The couples table
There
is
it
a
is.
live stream weekly podcast here on my YouTube channel. Join us for better or worse.
For richer or poor,
In sickness and in health.
as long as we both shall live.
Do-do-do-do.
We did it. Yay. Dogs were super quiet right until we pressed record. And then they weren't. So thank you guys for being here. We're back on Saturday. Obviously, for those of you watching us right now, you know that.
Yeah.
But it works out. This week was just a completely bonkers week, and Saturday shows seemed to work well, so we just did the Saturday show.
Yes.
Yeah. We're sorry that it keeps bouncing around.
Hopefully it'll pick a day and stay there. But we have a few things just kind of floating, so just follow us on social to see when we go.
It's been busy.
It's been busy.
We'll just say that.
We'll have updates soon.
Cool. But we're glad you guys are here.
Yeah.
You're back on the pod
mics.
mics.
Update, actually.
We do.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's happening on Monday, babe?
It's March 1st.
It's March 1st.
Yeah. Which is also the day of my very first webinar, 5 Essentials for Starting Your Podcast. So if you want to join, yes, you can go to learn.himynameistom.com/webinar.
How do you feel about it?
I am nervous and excited because This now sounds like the sales pitch. Sure, it can be, because I was hoping for 20 people maybe to sign up, and we're up to almost 80.
I know, that's so crazy.
Which is significantly more than 20. And yet, like, it's different than a live stream because it's, you have to register to be there. And the whole point is that it's not unlike a class where people come for a specific purpose with a specific takeaway. So it's much more than like the typical, like, Q&A live stream or sort of random loose discussion. But it's like,
I love this because I feel like this is going to be a real test for you to actually do what you do professionally in your, like, outside of professionally kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no, it is, because also,
you're teaching adults, like, how crazy.
And I'm putting the whole thing together. I'm like so nervous and, I got to do this. And I'm like, wait, I've put together a few lessons before. So it's like, I don't know. And it's not like I have to learn the content. Like I'm not teaching calculus or something,
Yeah.
So
this, like,
it's just getting up in my own head about it. And but the beauty of it is just being able to do things your way, my way. I mean,
yeah.
By your way, I mean my way.
Definitely, if you can make it, just hang. I think it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, it will be.
It'll be 4:00 Pacific Standard Time on Monday. But if you can't make that time for whatever reason, Tom will have the replay.
Yeah, but you need to sign up to get the replay because it won't be available like publicly or anything. So
yeah,
just be sure to do that.
All right, let's check in.
Let's check in. We got we got the
in.
crew up in here. To see, just pointed out, back to pod mics. I've been switching out. Actually, I don't know if you can see, but on the wall back here, I took a trick out of Daniel Batal's book. He posted a thing on Twitter where he was mounting microphones, these little like tiny mounts and flanges. Put them there, and then you can mount the mics on the wall. So instead of having my mics in the closet, I'm gonna mount them on the wall, so the ones I'm not using can be like on display because microphones look so cool. Anyway,
Patrick is here. Wow, what a turnaround on this topic. I commented 2 days ago, and here you go. Parasocial relationships.
We're getting real social. So this is your fault.
This is because of you.
Your fault.
I'm actually going to read your comments. So let's see. Where's the relationship with our fans going? That's funny. We need to talk.
Oh, jeez. All lowercase with a ...
Hi, Salamandra. Good to see you on this channel.
Just hopping all our channel.
Cool.
Hopping.
Okay, so let's talk about the topic.
Let's talk about that topic.
All right. So as we mentioned, Patrick left a comment. I'm gonna read it because I think it was the inspiration. It was the inspiration. I think this is a cool topic.
No, it's great. Like it was actually like a really, really interesting perspective. You're not in trouble.
You're not in trouble, dude. Okay, so here we go. Having fun catching up on past couples tables, but this is the first I had to stop watching. I enjoy your banter, but I don't need to develop a parasocial relationship with you guys. Actually, that might make a good episode discussion. How do you deal with the boundary of sharing becoming oversharing and the potential for your audience to develop the illusion of a friendship with you? There's been a lot of comments on how likable and personal Tom is. In fact, my first exchange with him over on his channel, I mentioned how awesome the ska backdrop was and how we should be best friends. I love ska and work in video production. I kind of cringe at the comment because I don't want to be misconstrued as stan. 95% of the internet content consumption is a one-way street, and inferring something more than that can turn toxic and dangerous. For the perfect illustration, watch the 2017 film Ingrid Goes West. Fantastic film about the dangers of becoming obsessed with your online media and parasocial relationships.
Very, very interesting.
I've never heard of the word parasocial relationship.
Would you like to know the definition of a parasocial relationship?
What's the definition of a parasocial relationship, Tom?
So a parasocial relationship is a one-sided relationship where one person extends emotional energy, interest, and time, and the other party, the persona, is completely unaware of the other's existence. Parasocial relationships are most common with celebrities, organizations such as sports team or television stars. Or YouTube live stream star.
Well, so I think this topic is worth discussing. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
There's a lot to unpack because you can go. Yeah, there's just
so
a lot
many
to talk
ways
about.
to go about it. But the thing that I think about, here's my first thought. Well, I have many thoughts, but I'll start with this one. Is I think the parasocial dynamic is even more so on YouTube than with like celebrities or whatever. Because, I mean, I felt this with Casey. It was like, I felt like I knew him because we were in his house, we were with his family. And
it's oftentimes they're the ones making the thing. Like, it's very intimate in a weird way.
And I can't tell you how many times that Tom and I have met people in real life and they've told us to our face, like, oh, I feel like I know you. This happened all the time with him. Oh, I feel like I know you because I watch Heather's vlogs.
Yeah, people I've never met, they're like, oh, I'm glad that thing worked out or whatever because she did a vlog about it. I'm like, oh,
yeah, congratulations. Or like, oh, I saw you get married. And we're just like, we don't know who you are.
Yeah.
But that being said, we've also met people who have watched a lot of us and we just became friends. Like, it wasn't,
Right. It's a strange, I mean, there's just a lot to unpack because it goes to what your intention is. And there's a thing where, like, I forget where I heard this. I know lots of people have heard it. I think it's like Bo Burnham has a thing and there's other like YouTube channels, but where people talk about like, oh my gosh, I love you guys so much. I love you. And it's like hearing someone, especially when it's someone like sitting in their house telling you that they love you. They don't know that you exist. They don't love you. They totally don't. They could even be rude to you in real life if they met you. And so like stuff like that, I think can get weird, especially I think it can get super weird. And that's kind of one of the reasons, like, I don't know, I try to consciously, like on my channel, I never say like, hey guys, and this kind of stuff, just because I don't know, specifically, like I'm trying to keep a certain dynamic going. But at the same time, I really do love YouTube for the community building aspect. And I've gotten to, like, I've built a network. I've built like a friend circle. I've built actual relationships. I met you through YouTube.
I was like, what?
So, well, I mean, that's like the big obvious one. But I mean, other people like Raphael, like there's people who I would consider friends that I've met through YouTube. And it just started through comments. Peter, that do the podcast with, and on the other side of the planet, just leaving comments. And
I think the thing with YouTube is that it is allowing people to connect based off of a common thing. It's like Patrick said, you guys like ska.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
for sure. Even if you met in person at a show or something, like I could see you connecting just off of that. So YouTube just makes it easier. I don't know. I know it's weird because it's one-sided, but also like I don't know.
So let me
I also have a bad experience though.
Oh, I was just going to tell you something that popped into my head was years ago. This might have been like 10 years ago. I was at Disneyland and it was one of those things where like I was with my friend and we were in line and I think we were in Cars Land in California Adventure to go on like the fancy cars ride after it had just opened, Radiator Springs Racers. And for whatever reason, we got to move ahead in line because we kind of like joined up with like these two other people who were in line. And, we kind of like talked a little bit in line and they were just super cool. And I had such a great time like hanging out with them. We went on the ride. It was really fun. And then the ride's over and you just had to leave. And I remember like so awkwardly, I was like, yeah, here's my card. Like, I just didn't.
You did that?
I did. The appropriate thing to do would have been nothing because that is what a normal person would do. But it was like, it just felt like, man, we're having so much fun. And like, I don't want to not
That's cute.
talk to you guys again anymore. And so like, here's a card. Maybe like you could like be a guest speaker in my class, even though I lived in like San Francisco or something. And I never heard from them again because that is weird and it wasn't necessary. But I didn't know how to navigate that dynamic of like just feeling like closer to someone than I was, I guess.
Yeah, but this is different because there's an acknowledgement.
There was a shared experience and we were together in IRL, as they say.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That just reminded me of like the difficulty navigating things, especially if you form an attachment to somebody.
Yeah. Because I'm just thinking of the one who got stuck in the stairwell with you.
Right. I mean that's
like I've had to block someone because it got too someone was too invested, and it was just it crossed into a line that I was very uncomfortable with because they were kind of like, oh, I thought you, there's like expectations like, oh, I thought you would do this because,
or
like,
because I've watched this, because I've supported
and
this,
I was
you
like,
owe me
homie,
this.
you do not know me just because you watched a few of my videos. And I think this is going to be different for, the type of content you create. I think the closeness that people feel with you versus like, hey, here's our dogs, here's our family, here's us getting married, is different. So that's an interesting thing. I don't know, but like, I don't think you're gonna get someone who's gonna cross into like Stan.
The thing that I get is it's almost like I get messages where people like I've never heard of them and they're talking to me as if I do know them. It'll be like, oh, check out the, like,
and that's cool. I like that.
But in ways that I can't concretely.
No one's gonna go to your webinar.
I can't concretely like point out what it is, but there's just that thing, the gut feeling, whatever, where it's like someone can email me a thing like, hey, like I'm looking to start my podcast. I watch your videos. You got me started. It's amazing. And sometimes people will say like, here's my show. If you have time, like take a listen. And I feel like, whoa, like they started a thing because of something I made. Like I want to listen. So I listen, give them some feedback or whatever. That's fine. I mean, like it's almost as if someone is introducing themselves to you 8 months into a friendship that doesn't exist, and they're speaking as if there's a history, as if you know what's going on, and it's a weird like we're bros now and we're gonna hang out, and it's like no, and I can't you just keep asking, and I can't keep giving because it's not appropriate. But I also work with students where obviously I hope I know they exist, but the idea of boundaries, which can be tough because they get really attached, and then sometimes they cross the line. It's like, yeah, I had to report that to other adults because school,
James and Mark, how timely. We just met up with a sub who is in town this week.
I mean, meetups and stuff can be amazing. And again, I don't remember. I don't forget how this, I guess it goes into what we were talking about in the original comment about like oversharing and what to share and the thing that can maybe unintentionally create that dynamic.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so for you guys listening, because I want to make this perfectly clear for the people who are watching,
love you.
Yeah, the couples table. No, seriously, like a parasocial relationship is like we do not know that you exist, but you guys tune in every week. We've hung out for months. Like we have, conversations. We engage. There's dialogue.
I spent more time with you than like my parents.
Yeah.
So
exactly. So I think there's a difference. Like if you were just watching our videos and your comment can come from anybody, but I know this is weird sounding. Like I feel like there's a personality and a face to a name, even though we haven't met in person, because there's a regular community here. So I think that's different, and I just want to make sure that you guys aren't like, oh, they think we're weird or whatever.
No, but that's what I was trying to go off of was with YouTube. So much of it is building a community, and if you choose to do, there are people who, what do they call it? Post and ghost. They like post something and then, there's no comments, there's no chats, there's no anything. And it's just that has the potential to build that kind of dynamic because then people are attaching themselves to it, but the person's not engaging at all. And obviously you can't engage with everybody in every way, but you can build up, that community of people that where it just works. And I think you can build a dynamic there. And it's like, I don't know. It's if we move our show, we legitimately think like, oh, this person, it'd be easier on them because their schedule's here, or this person would be like bummed because they said they look forward to it. Like the awareness of the existence of others is very much there. Yeah, very much with something like this specifically.
Yeah, we're thinking of you guys. Yeah. So that's different. I think you guys are in a different category. But I've had someone meet me and straight up be like, "Oh my god, I feel like I'm meeting a celebrity."
I've never had that,
and I'm just like. Okay, hi. That was weird.
Yeah, I bet that would be weird.
Yeah. Or like VidCon, like there's always someone I meet at VidCon who has watched my videos, and that it's like I feel like a lot of my content, if you watch more than one of my videos, I feel like we must connect on some level, obviously. So most of the people that I have met who have known me from YouTube, I've always it's a
self-selecting group.
Yeah, it's a self-selecting group, and like I would be happy to continue a friendship with them. Like I'm thinking of people who've been in my vlogs. Like if I meet someone at VidCon and they know me, I straight up put them on the camera because I'm like, hey, I gotta remember this is cool. Like the fact that we're even connecting like this is really cool. Yeah, and we've kept in touch. We follow each other and stuff.
Well, it goes.
So
there's different levels of stuff. Like you might not be able to keep up with every person who leaves a comment or every person who joins a thing, and you don't need to. That's not required, but I think what happened? I don't stop bugging you right now. This was all just a hint there.
James said the friend we met up with, we wouldn't consider parasocial as we video
Right.
chat on Discord many times and communicate outside of that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just. I don't know what we're thinking. You don't love me. When she said we became friends with them, she was talking about me, people. I don't need I don't need more friends. Jason Mark. I can cross the boundaries with Tom just so he doesn't feel left out. The only Heather got a creepy fan. Oh.
It's okay. I appreciate your willingness to do that, but you really don't need to. It's okay.
That was very uncomfortable.
And that just goes down
that
to
was
like
very uncomfortable.
it just goes down. Somebody.
And it's crazy because you were there. Like you saw.
Oh yeah, no,
that whole
I know
thing.
exactly what you're talking about. But somebody was talking, or I was reading online like a discussion where people were talking about gut instinct this week and trusting your gut, and the reason for it, the very non-scientific, parascientific reason would be that. Your gut instinct, what we call your gut, is made up of, generations, millions of years of evolution, all these different little signals, all these different feelings, this different like information you're taking in, and it's all coming together to create a feeling or a vibe or whatever you want to call it. And if your gut is kind of telling you like this is good, it's okay, or if your gut's like something's just off, even if on the surface you're like, this person just walked up and said hi, or they sent me a message or whatever, but something just feels off, there's a reason for that. And I think that's what can be so tricky, is because you can get almost the exact same interaction, whether it's a message or meeting in person or whatever, from two different people, but one can be like, oh, I'm totally cool and comfortable with this and it's easy, and the other's like, this is like uncomfortable.
So I'll keep going. First of all, Noah, howdy folks. How did you both meet?
You don't know how we met? We met on YouTube. The algorithm recommended me some of her videos.
How hypocritical are we about,
Well, I'm not being. What's the hypocritical thing?
Well, like we can't say that. We're not being hypocritical, but obviously we met on YouTube.
Well, here's what I think. So
and we formed a very real, lifelong, lasting relationship.
Right, and that's not something that's going to happen all the time. That's not something you can just go do today. But the definition of parasocial, where the one person doesn't know the other person exists, especially as it applies to more traditional mediums, TV, movies, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You do have, when you have a fan, especially, I don't know, say it's like a young pop star, because I'm old and this is how I talk about celebrities now. And they're talking to fans who are younger than them, probably children who, huge fans, the Backstreet Boys when you were a kid, that kind of thing. And they're looking the camera and they're saying like, thank you so much. We love you. We couldn't do this without you. Like everything we do it for you. And then you're just sitting there with like a malformed brain because you're an adolescent and you're just like, oh my God, it's because of me. Not malformed.
Okay, first of all, I did not think that.
Not malformed. That sounds wrong. But I wasn't talking about you specifically. I was just using you as like, I was thinking of somebody who was obsessed with like a pop idol as a kid. Like the Aquabats, it wasn't the same thing because I made sure that wasn't parasocial because they were smaller and accessible. But you know what I mean? Like an adolescent, their brain's not fully formed yet. They're having these feelings, and that person genuinely will never know they exist. And they can look in the camera and say, we love you, thank you, blah, blah, blah. And literally, if that person saw them on the street and ran up to them, they could be like, no, I'm busy, like, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, but I thought they loved me. Whereas on YouTube, social media, it is what you make it, and there is no one size fits all. That dynamic still exists in those. It can be abused, but also you can decide if community building is important for you, then that can be a part of it, where it doesn't have to be just parasocial. It can be, I don't know what the next step up is, but like what we have here, where we do, like know each other to an extent. Yeah, I guess. And there is more of a back and forth. That opportunity exists. And I think that's fantastic, and, has to be navigated in a certain way to be responsible, to be safe. And
I don't know how to explain what I'm feeling. Like, I don't know if there's definitions for these things, but the way that I see it is like, I have a very
great husband.
I have an awareness of whether I'm a fan or whether I'm more than like a friend or something. So, for example, I met Casey. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm a hardcore fan, and I knew that I wouldn't be able to say anything. Like, I knew what I feel for him is just, I'm just a fan, right?
Yeah.
So when I met him, I was just like, hi, can I take a picture? Because there's nothing else I'm going to...
Right. Can make a connection.
Yeah. We're not going to... I'm definitely just...
And whatever you say to him, he's going to hear 15,000 times that same day.
Same with Philip DeFranco. I'm a huge fan. Like, literally, Philip DeFranco, I watch every single video. I don't think I even do that with any other channel. And when I met him, I was just like, Kate, thanks for all you do.
Can we talk about my VidCon experience? Actually, under my hoodie, I'm wearing my VidCon shirt that I was wearing on the day that this happened.
I don't know if you guys get this vibe, but Tom is like super awkward.
No one who watches my channels would think about that or has ever listened to this. I am cool as a cucumber.
And we saw one of Tom's favorite channels, like the guy in person walking around by himself, just like totally, like just walk like 5 feet away from
the thing about me is I will fanboy over like an A-list celebrity like Brad Pitt. I'd be like, that's cool, that's Brad Pitt, neat. One of the Aquabats walks by, I'm like, oh my God.
And like no one else would be like,
yeah, like, I can't believe it. He's getting into his car. Oh, like I lose my mind. And so we were at VidCon, and I saw Adam the Woo. And if you watch Adam's channel, he's been essentially making daily videos for years now. He does a lot of theme park stuff. He does a lot of like roadside attraction adventure stuff. He's been doing it forever. He's got like a history and like the punk music scene. Hair? He's the tall guy.
Okay.
Super tall guy. And he was at VidCon, and it was cool. We were on the convention floor, and I saw him, not just seeing him there, but he was making a video.
Yeah.
And that's one of the coolest things is like, I'm seeing someone I admire doing the thing I admire them for. What? And so obviously I wasn't going to like say anything. He was filming. So I was like, it's so cool. He's there. And then the whole rest of the day I was like, he's here. Keep in mind it's VidCon. Like there's like the Try Guys are on stage and Dave Dobrik's over here and Jarvis Johnson's over here, and I'm just like, Adam the Woo's filming a video right now.
Which, by the way, like Tom's a very big fan of Jarvis Johnson, so I took
Tom's hand. This was that same day.
Took Tom's hand, walked up to Jarvis Johnson because I don't know who he is, and I didn't care or anything, and I was just like, I just want you to know that my boyfriend is such a big fan.
You know how not embarrassing that was. Luckily, he was very nice about it.
Yeah, like he saw us later and he was like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah, and that was that. Later that day, we were outside of the convention center. There's like a big fountain, and there were a bunch of people there. And I saw Adam again filming. And Heather's like, "You gotta go like say hi to." And Heather was like, She said exactly what she said here. She's like, you don't need to take the time. You don't need to tell a story. Just say like, "Thanks for what you do. I enjoy whatever." Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And so he's like walking and filming, and I walked by, and like we locked eyes, and I didn't stop walking, and I was like, hey, I really love your channel, and then just kept walking. But this was like the one time, and I don't know because I'm not in somebody else's head, but this was the one time where like literally I swear I saw him stop, like he 100% I feel like would have been open to like chatting for a bit.
He like looked at you walk away from him. As he was about to continue the conversation, you just bounced. Like Tom walked so
I like
fast.
Mom walked away into the convention center where I had nowhere to go.
And I was like,
I don't know how to be a person. That's why I do this because the benefit of the parasocial relationship for me is that I can just be in charge of what happens over here.
This is Tom.
And I don't have to deal with
Socially
this.
awkward, my darling. I love you. You know, you're so funny.
Oh, my goodness.
Anyway, let's catch up with comments.
Yeah.
All right. I met a few high-profile celebs, and they appreciate when people acknowledge that they are regular people that have never met you, and they immediately put people into either fan or normal, starstruck or chill. Yeah.
That's true.
And, like, I can tell whether I'm going to be... Like, to this day, if I met the Backstreet Boys, I would lose my mind.
Yeah.
So I would just... Like, I won't cross the line.
I've met a couple celebrities in my day that are upset if you don't know who they are. Mostly like old school celebrities where it's like, I don't know, I guess celebrity was different at the time, but especially if I was younger and I didn't know who they were, it was very much like,
as my circle keeps growing and my business is busy, now when new acquaintances want to book a time to chat, I feel rude not having a lot of time for that right now.
Yes. So this was a tough thing that I had to navigate because I think we talked about this maybe even last week, but when I first met Heather and she already had like her business going and her network going and people would constantly ask her, hey, I just want to pick your brain for a second. And I was like, that sounds so fun. Like it's just to sit down and chat. And then we did talk about this last week. We learned that like picking your brain means it's a very one-way road.
Consultation.
Yeah, it's a free consultation. I'm not getting a lot out of it. And the other person is. And as things grow, it becomes difficult to do that. Like Patricia, the thing that I get a lot of based on the content I make is I get a lot of tech support questions. So my email and my messages, a lot of people, I'm starting a podcast, I'm setting up my Rodecaster, I'm having this issue with it, blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, like there's a very fine line between like, I love talking gear versus like now I'm just tech support for Rode. And it does become difficult and I try to navigate it as gracefully as possible. But that's where like for me, consultations came in where it's like, I'll say like, yeah, I can give you a quick answer here. If you need to dive in more, here's where you can book some time and we can work on it together. But it just had to be the like, I need to put my time. I can't spend 20 minutes answering tech support or having someone like pick my brain because that's, you know, the call is only a half hour. Yeah, but I got to like prep. And even if I don't have to prep, like I need to get mentally ready. I need to finish something I'm working on. I need to turn on a camera, turn on light, log into something.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, it's always at least 30 to 60 minutes outside of the scheduled time that the thing will take. So half hour becomes 90 minutes, 1 hour becomes 2 hours, that kind of a thing.
Noah says, I'm working on a short documentary about how online couples met. So I'd love to know your story.
That is awesome.
Noah, let me see. There is a video on my channel from October 2019? 2020.
Is it the engagement video?
Yeah.
Yeah, October 2019.
2019. That's called something like Tom, will you?
So,
Tom, I have a question.
It's only the video that she used to propose to me, but the title is something.
Tom, I have a question for you. But so that's the video I used to propose to this man right here, this gorgeous man.
That's me.
But it summarizes like our whole... like everything from the first comment he left me to us meeting in person.
Yeah, the only reason we're not diving into details because
everyone here knows
we've gotten into it so many times. YouTube. YouTube was our dating service.
Mark, hi guys, love your videos. I just picked up a pod mic. Thanks for making it such an easy choice.
I'm glad. You know, just to go down the gear route for a second, I have gotten into the habit lately of just switching out microphones like every day. I'm like using a different mic and trying different things, and it's really fun. And every time I come back to the pod mic, I'm like, God, I really like it. It's just like, it just always just holds up. It's a good mic. It looks good too. It looks good, and Heather has one in her office now. Thanks, Buzzsprout. And
you know what I don't like though?
When she does her streams, though, the audio is so good.
There's a huge logo right here.
Oh, on yours? It says blue, yeah.
I don't like it.
Especially because the cord is purple and then it says blue. And I was like...
let's see. Remember, hit the like button, everyone.
That's right.
Luis being like an awesome moderator over there.
I know.
We should totally make you moderator.
Who had MKBHD? You want to talk about Parasocial? The opposite, MKBHD in Louise's clubhouse room the other day.
See, I mean, I don't even watch MKBHD, but he's one where I would probably freak out a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see, Raphael. We should normalize using the terms friend, family, acquaintance, associate, coworker, neighbor.
Yeah, I mean, that's always tricky because friend especially is pretty broad because, you know, there's like, I have the friends who, when I have been at, you know, when there's a crisis and there's an emergency, the person anytime, you can call and they'll help you out versus like the people that you are friendly with, but you're probably not going to like ask them for something. But a lot of times too, you never know who that person is until you're just in that situation where you have to rely on it. And then I don't know. I'm not the expert in navigating friendship stuff. What I do know is it really sucked prior to our engagement when we were adults in our 30s who were on the path to get married and had to call each other boyfriend and girlfriend. It's just like the worst. But partner felt weird, and it was just so difficult. Anyway.
Patrick said he broke the show. No, you didn't. This is like a fun show.
If you broke it, we'll pick it back up.
It's sort of wanting people get in touch. 2 people tweeted to say they're enjoying my podcast. It makes it all seem worthwhile. Yeah, for sure.
No, we're not in any way complaining about that kind of thing. We're just sort of dissecting the different dynamics and stuff. And there's like a graceful way to do it and an odd way to do it. And the vast majority, I would say, are graceful and savvy and I think and natural.
I think we do want to connect. That's why we're putting content
out
there in the first place.
It's on the internet.
Otherwise, we would just keep it to ourselves. So, there's that just understanding from the get-go.
Right.
It can definitely, I think it can definitely blossom into something like this or just go into a territory of super awkward.
We had a teachers union meeting this past week, and I was vocal about some things. This is a Zoom meeting. And I was vocal about some things, and I got a few messages afterwards. Obviously, these are mostly people I know in real life, and they were like checking in on me or like, oh, like you said this and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I didn't know who was going to hear what, but I did know that I was saying things in a semi-public. I mean, it's a private group, but there's 300 people there. And like,
people talk.
I know what's going to happen if I'm saying something in that situation. So like I was saying things that while it'd be great if they were kept private, I knew might not necessarily be. And that's the whole point though, is like when you put yourself out there, you just know, or you should know that, it's out there. You should know,
Doc Rock, I've been waiting.
Oh, there it is. Look at this. Let's get live.
Here's the whole thing. This is Doc Rock's merch. Look, see?
Look how coordinated you are.
I know, right?
It's amazing.
I had to get it because I love the color.
Yeah. Good job.
And I just love the fit. So thanks for the merch, Doc Rock. Matthias, this topic goes a bit over my head. I can't keep up with the speed of the conversation translating it to my own language. Oh no.
Friendship's fun. People, sometimes weird.
Let's see. Backshores are all right. Let's see.
Backstreet's back, all right.
Aren't they? It's what are they? Aquabats. Sorry. Aren't they a ska band? Heather, you meeting Casey is like me meeting Peter McKinnon or Peter Lindgren. Very curious how I might react.
You know what I'm curious about is like.
Well, I also met Casey in 2017. Like what was it? 2018. I think it was 20. It
was very like peak Casey, peak vlog.
Like people were screaming.
Yeah.
It was nuts. So it was, there was no way I was going to have a normal conversation with it.
Well, what I was going to say, which is strange, is like if like the normal group of people who are very active in the chat here and something, like if we were to meet in person at some point,
I would be so excited.
Right. And because I was thinking like you mentioned Peter, and like we've been doing our podcast forever and we've been friends for like almost a year now, but obviously we've never met. But it would just be weird because like, I mean, just physical things like you're tall, I'm not as tall. Like that's weird.
That. Like am I shorter or taller than you thought? Or
yeah. I don't know. It'd definitely be very strange.
Let's see. I watched this with 2. What's up, guys? Cybertron. What's up? Let's see. I'm the same way living in Hawaii and being in media for years. I've met thousands of celebrities, but meeting my creator business heroes are so different. Tom talking in the distance. Heather says, my boyfriend likes your channel. I'm dying. This was hilarious. In my head, I'm best friends with Kelly Stamps. She just doesn't know yet. I haven't watched the Kelly Stamps.
She will. And also, Nick, congrats.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say congrats on 200K because that's where you'll be pretty much by the time the stream ends.
Yeah.
But if you guys haven't seen it today, Nick released his thank you for reaching 100K video. And it's great because it is such a different perspective from what you normally hear in the YouTube thank you video. Oh, it's so good. Go check it out. It's great advice. It's
Nick
super
does,
fun.
Interior design.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we
need help.
we should collab on like the couch.
Yes.
We're supposed to get a couch.
Also, if I wanted to paint our baseboards a semi-gloss white, what shade of white would be the best? This is a project that is coming up.
Let's see. We appreciate your awkwardness. We all have something.
I just have to lean into it. That's been the beauty of like working with teenagers forever, is they're stuck in an awkward phase.
Yeah.
And me being awkward just makes them more comfortable being awkward.
You were tech support yesterday.
Right.
Babe showing up.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Let's see. Having a tool channel, it always feels like tech support.
Yeah, and there's that line between, I do like talking about gear, but it's also when someone just sends you the list of all their equipment and they're like, how do I hook it up to work good? Like, I don't know, man.
Actually, Raphael, Tom and I decided we picked a date that we would propose to each other. So like I proposed to Tom first and then he did it later that day.
It was just our anniversary.
Yeah.
And we knew that because it was sort of this weird thing. Like at that point, prior to that, we were like, okay, we know we're going to get married. And now if we know we're getting married, at what point are we just engaged? Like, you know?
Right. And I was like, why does it have to be the guy that does the proposing? Like I want to plan something, you know? I was like, why don't we both do it?
Yeah. So we knew it was going to happen on a day, but we didn't know how the other was going to do it.
Yeah,
so like
that
Heather,
was a surprise
you know, we would just say like, well, you originally told me like, I just need, 2 hours in the evening. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And
oh my God. That should be a couples table episode. Like the
engagement. Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be real fun to relive that.
God, I had so many ideas because one of the things that we did was ziplining, and I was gonna like hire people to hold signs like as you ziplined over that was like, "Will you marry me?" But
instead, we saw a street performer get his keyboard stolen.
Anyways, do you need a wedding band?
Like a wedding ring or a wedding band? I have my wedding band right here.
Okay, for sure though, because I don't know when everything's going to open up and when we can all travel and when we're going to actually meet in person, because that would be awesome. But we should totally have like a couples table.
Radiator Springs Racers, and we all exchange business cards afterwards.
Okay. My YouTube viewers turn friends, turn business partners. Just launched a new startup. So while sometimes you want to close a wall, I keep it open and learn to manage it.
Yeah. It's just navigating, like.
It depends,
Yeah.
Our channel is structured where everyone feels like our friends. We usually have a good feel if someone should progress as friends versus someone who should remain as a YouTube friend, if that makes sense.
I started reading the comment before I saw that it was James and Mark, and my instinct was to be like, oh yeah, like James and Mark, because but you guys have, not only has your channel always been inclusive, but the fact that so much of it is live and you've been doing it for years.
Yeah, and you do acknowledge the people that say hi to you. You read the comments, and there's a dialogue.
There's a community that's there.
Yeah.
Right, Luis and I originally first met in Peter Gregg's Friday night live streams, where it's the same, there's different people, but it's the same core 10 people. Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
The same core 10 people every time. At least that's where I first became aware of Luis, and then he was in every live stream I would tune into. He was also
I guess
there.
So, because you were like, oh yeah, Luis is in. You were watching his live stream. You're like, this is one of the people in Peter Gregg's chat.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and then
every time I would watch a live stream, he would be there. And then once Clubhouse launched, I was like, he's in every room.
Let's see, Patrick, kind of related. Did you happen to see the YouTube algorithm pump this channel? Yeah, Russia hit huge this week, and it's got to be a kick in the brain to go from obscure 21-year-old Russian vlogger to YouTube star.
I did not hear about this. But that is...
interesting.
Yeah.
Julie, hey, Tom and Heather, over here on the East Coast, fellow educator and podcaster. Love both your channels.
Thank you so much.
Let's see. I remember telling Heather this.
80s Music Live Band.
Oh, how fun.
That
Really? Oh, that sounds so fun. Let's see. That's funny. Road tech support is, what color should I paint my...
You have a paint trim video. Okay, great.
Okay,
great.
We'll watch that one. We had challenges with our subs telling us heavy things going on in their lives, and remember having a hard time responding to all of those. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I do love, that my stuff is more limited to...
Yeah, tech support.
Yeah. And if it's a story, it's usually a touching thing of I finally, this thing happened and it pushed me to get started or something like that. But it can be tough sometimes if people do think that you're there for them in a way that you couldn't even be if you wanted to be, because of the dynamic of the relationship. And it definitely can get a little it'll pump the brakes, It
was already hard to navigate being social and just doing over the internet. It can be a little complicated.
But... Oh, what's always given me it's always given me anxiety is chats. Like I was an MSN Messenger guy back in the day.
Chats? Like chat rooms?
Like AIM. You know, like
why would that? Okay, what?
Like instant messengers, because
why does that make you uncomfortable?
Because I never know how to end it, and this is like in high school when it'd be like MSN Messenger, and I'd be like on my computer at night, Messenger. And it's what I used, and and then friends would be there, or there were a couple people from like message boards I would go on, and they chat. I know, but it would keep going, but I would just feel like I am paying attention over here, but I'm trying to jump over here.
Oh my god, this is
and then I'd feel so bad because I'd be like, okay, like I am gonna go to bed now, click off, but then I'm like, I am actually gonna keep doing stuff. I just didn't want to keep chatting. I just didn't know how to end it. I don't know.
Tom's a highly sensitive
I have
person.
this. The similar thing that I have now is Instagram story reactions. Because if you post a story and people react to your story, you can then react to their reaction. And like, when do we end it politely? And not that I want it to end, but I don't want to do too much, and I don't want to do too little.
Overthinking it.
Oh, that's me.
Way overthinking it. You know.
Thank you, Megan, for understanding.
Because like we know y'all's, but aren't quite friends either, so it made it feel awkward to acknowledge live and then take shots a second later. Yeah.
Well, especially in your guys' situation, because you're not doing like mental health check-in live stream. You're doing like fun Friday night dinner shots kind of thing, and then someone shows up. Everyone's hanging out. Everyone's like, "Let's get to 50 likes," and they'll play a game. And someone's like, "My life's falling apart," and you're like, 60 likes. It's weird.
I once asked a text support question to Tom a long time ago. I'm a little embarrassed now.
I do not mind it at all. It's just the depth of some of them can be intense.
Yeah, AIM. Meebo.
What is this word?
You've never heard of Meebo?
No.
It was like a cool AIM. It was like
I had MSN Messenger, and then I visited many message boards. That was what I did.
I also don't know how to end IMs.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
They're not supposed to end. They're just kind of like a channel. It's like open that you can just.
Sometimes I have the same problem with text messages because you sort of like you're not talking, but there's kind of a back and forth. But it's like, do I say like "see you later" or do we just stop talking?
So cute. I love how.
I just get anxiety about it. But don't stop reaching out to me. I need to learn.
How old are you?
I am 35.
Knock knock door creak down. Chat foamy was real before we had a word for it. FOMO? Foamy? What's foamy?
What's
did an ICQ?
I seek you. Like that was one of the messenger things from back in the day. I've never heard of it. I remember ICQ. I eventually got AIM and like.
I mean, you definitely struck me as an MSN Messenger. Like you still have an AOL address?
We never had AOL, so I didn't think I could have AIM because we didn't have AOL.
Oh, cute.
and so it wasn't until like 2005 or something. The reason I got it was because Suburban Legends, a ska band I like, a bunch of the people had it, and I was like, oh, you could like chat up in there.
You can chat up in there.
Yeah, it was like college though.
A funny thing for me is people will pay me hourly rate to hear me say some of the same things no one watches or discusses with me for free here on YouTube.
Dude, okay, when I'm sitting there for hours staring at blank Zoom screens and I can't, hey, does anybody know why we do blah, blah, blah? And nothing. And then someone will pay me a bunch of money to have a Zoom thing for an hour. It's like, it's just bizarre. It makes you feel bipolar.
The end of the Insta story reaction chain is when someone hearts the last message. That means we're done here.
That's what I've now gotten like I acknowledge you and this now is over. But now I feel bad when I'm the one that hearts because I feel like
oh my god, you never don't feel bad.
Right. That's my way of living. If I'm awake, I'm feeling bad about something.
Thank you for talking about the M1 Mac Mini. That was my idea, y'all.
That was. And that video like was a perfect YouTube thing.
He was going to release that later. And I was like, you need to post that.
Yeah. And
because people are talking about
the video I made before that was the most difficult video I've ever made. Not because it was like about microphones. It was about the Rodecaster, but it was like everything just went wrong, and cameras were dying, and memory cards were filling up, and stuff wasn't.
Where your hair gets messed up by the end of it?
Yeah, it's just a mess. It came out fine, but the production side of it was a nightmare. And the Mac Mini video was like one of the easiest videos. It was just, and it's a complex video, but it all just fell into place. I put it out, and it's doing super well, and I was just like, they should always be like that. Like, why do they all have to be difficult?
I'll get one for my wife. That's what Tom did. Tom was even used Netscape.
We used so we had Prodigy, and I did have Netscape Navigator. We even had a thing called a web TV before we had a computer. It was Philips Web TV. It was like the internet funny. On your TV.
I fell asleep during a Discord video chat last night. You're fine, Tom.
I didn't know. Oh, I was thinking Clubhouse Discord video.
You're like, I didn't know Clubhouse had video.
Yeah.
I asked my wife on our first date via in-office MSN Messenger.
In office.
That's cute.
What if management was like spying?
AIM away messages were a thing. AIM profiles were windows into your friend's soul. Oh my God, I would craft that
MySpace.
Stuff. What? I wish we could pull up our MySpace pages.
Oh, I know. It kills me that you can't. But I mean, the bad HTML, the organization of the top 8, the song that you would have play, you'd have a little bio, you'd have your, like, you could do little blog posts up there.
Oh my God, the top 8. I can't imagine how much drama that was.
No, I know. And then you would see yourself. I just kept it random because I was like, I can't play this game. But you would see yourself like climbing and falling down other people's, and you'd be top row of top 8. Somebody.
Clubhouse is like Yahoo chat rooms from 1999. Are we moving forward or back?
It is. What I was just found something that's like a chat room. Oh, it was funny. Just this week, I was doing an audio test at work, and whenever I need to just run audio, I go to YouTube and I do the like chill beats to study to live streams.
Lo-fi beats.
Yeah, and then I can have that playing, and I can be in different places like checking audio and stuff. And they always have a chat, and I was like reading the chat, and it's so much like an old school chat room because it's just whoever happens to be there at that time. Everybody's kind of talking at the same time, and I was like, wow, this is 2021, and this is exactly what a chat room in 1998 felt like.
I love going into those chat rooms.
I've never chatted in them, but
yeah, because it's just like you just hang out with a bunch of random people, talk about whatever. It's like, what are you working on? What are you studying for?
I mean, that's ASL.
No, it doesn't have to be.
No, I just remembered that was a thing though.
ASL. I think that's Tom's style. Instant message heart. Oh yeah. So that's what that is about. Love the big intro.
Oh yeah, the Mac Mini.
I bought an M1 that day. The video dropped.
You did? Wow. Because I know Raphael's really like, he's looking down into the future on like, where are they really going with this?
It's amazing though.
It is amazing. The big controversy I have found since posting my video is people are theorizing that one of the reasons it's so fast is because the RAM and the SSD, there's like crazy rewrites happening, and so therefore it could wear out the SSDs longer. And a few people have like done tests where they're like, oh, after 3 months, my like the lifespan is already up to 99% instead of 100%. But I don't know if it's every time Apple releases something new, there's either like a problem or people trying to make something a problem, and I can't tell which one this is. And the estimations I had were like, yeah, at that rate, it's only going to last 8 years. And I'm like, but also, I've never used a computer for 8 years,
like,
so
I
whatever.
Don't care. The fact that it makes my life easier now is what matters to me.
Right. I don't know. So we'll see. Well, only time will tell.
How many comments were about your hair? None.
Literally none, but it's so...
Because if you guys watch the beginning of the video, it looks like this, and then he was wearing headphones, so he took them off, and then his hair is just like... that wasn't the difficult production one. That's my Rodecaster tip and trick. But the end of it, it's just like mad scientist things, and I tried to like crop the frame to like cut it out. And I can't believe see, look at that. I mean, I think something...
But you know what's a big thing, though?
What's a big thing, Tom?
Is... as I started, when I started my YouTube channel, had that happened, I would have redone the video. And
but you were like, you know what?
I was like, it is what it is.
I love
That's what happened.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We used to sell web TV at our family store.
It was kind of cool. There's like a little wireless keyboard. It would be like you had this and you would go sit on the couch and like navigate the internet. But the interface was terrible, so it was like hard to get to websites.
Zali Lama's T's here. What's up? Tom is digitally awkward.
I am awkward. Existentially awkward.
Yeah, but so am I, though. Like,
But I would never. You're so cool.
oh my God, no, you're cool.
I know.
I mean, you like ska, and you're an
Every
artist.
cool person loves ska.
You always talk about it sarcastically, but it's like
Because I've never been told I was cool because I like ska. I've been told
what's
the
wrong with
opposite.
ska?
Nothing.
Oh my
It's
God,
rad.
Whatever. Just
I love
stop.
it.
You're cool, okay?
I am.
Danush, hi there. Hello.
Hello.
Up north is here. Good afternoon, all doc.
Oh, it is afternoon.
I have a video on my channel of shooting fireworks with MySpace Tom in Waikiki.
Whoa.
Seriously?
You want to know who's living their best life right now?
MySpace Tom.
And you also, I just had flashbacks. When MySpace was huge, there was a 2 to 3 year period where I could not introduce myself to someone. Hi, I'm Tom. And the first thing they would say, MySpace Tom? MySpace Tom?
Oh, really?
MySpace? It was just the
She
thing.
just said yes.
I was like,
Like,
I wish.
clearly.
Like, yeah, obviously. Like, when we sit in front of a whiteboard and, like, look over my shoulder. But that guy just made $1 bajillion and
And
is
it's
like,
just-
I'm just going to travel and take pictures
I
of
know,
stuff
man.
now.
Like drama-free life.
That is how you do it,
That's how you
MySpace
do
Tom.
Did anyone else go to Instagram and react to Tom's latest story? LOL. Doc, man, I did M1 video with Renee Ritchie in
Renee Ritchie.
October.
He's
and
a
didn't
big Apple dude.
Get this kind of love. Best Mac ever from an ex-Apple employee.
I'm confused about, because I don't do computer videos, so I was like, oh, I don't think the video's going to do very well. But I think because I took the specific, like, podcast video production workflow angle on it.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't want to hear it from someone who's like a computer person, you know?
Well, like, yeah, the benchmarks mean nothing. Oh, this
I
Geekbench
don't
score
care.
is 23,196. Oh, okay.
I have no idea what that means. You guys are both super cool.
That's right.
Let's do our cool.
Wow.
Still waiting on the ska cast.
Oh, don't worry.
Really?
Oh, I don't know. But you know what our most popular episode of the Couples Table is
On audio.
on audio?
Yeah.
By far.
Is the ska cast.
So that means people who had no idea
Is
what
it
they
really
were.
like to this day?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
That's what you said.
No, it's the one that gets most plays of the last 2 weeks. I don't know if it's the most popular episode. Like,
Oh, I was
Yeah.
just going off your stats.
um,
Well, I could be wrong then.
this is awkward to see you guys debate who's more awkward.
I feel awkward.
I'm like so awkward. That's another episode. Even when MySpace was big, MySpace was tiny. Okay, I don't know nothing about ska, but every time on this podcast people talk about it. I'm going to check it out. Any recommendations? Okay, recommendations for a newbie to ska? I would start with the Interrupters.
Yeah, I mean, go to the Interrupters, go
Yeah.
to Real Big Fish, Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like stuff that's like very like easy. You could go to something like Streetlight Manifesto. You could go to.
Yeah, that's too much.
You could go to, you know.
It's like if you want to dip your toe into country, start with Zach Brown Band.
Chicken Fried.
Got a little bit of ska.
That's right.
Can I take credit for that? Well, you can co-host
You're
an
the
episode,
biggest
Patrick.
influencer
Yeah.
right now on the Couples Table. So you want to talk about Parasocial up in here?
We did a whole episode because of you. Oh man. And also, okay, so here's something to look forward to, guys. I don't know if you can say this. I'm just gonna say it anyway. Tom is getting a mobile live stream setup.
Oh, yeah.
So we are definitely gonna do some kind of
Yeah.
mobile couples table episode. But I thought of you, Patrick, because I think you're from Iowa and it's like super cold over there right now. And it's like what, 80? It's like 80s
Yeah,
over
the
here.
the YOLO box. They said, hey, we'll send you one if you want one. I was
So
like,
we're gonna try it.
sure, YOLO. And
I think
anyway.
it's on its way. Maybe next week. That'd be cool.
Yeah, they said it's shipped out, so
Yeah.
should get there anytime.
So if you guys have any suggestions of, I mean, I guess you don't know where we.
Basically, it's like it looks like a little TV, and then it's almost like the ATEM Mini where you
Where
can
do you
plug
think we should-
stuff into it. But oh, I have to hold everything I'm talking about. But then you can like stream remotely. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Where would we want to stream from?
Oh, there we go. Sorry, Mark Cockrum, the Selector, Madness, and the Specials of British Scovens. That's
Or the
if you- oh, and the Toasters aren't British, are they? They're East Coast, but they just like sound British. Anyway, yes, all good stuff.
See, you guys, there is a ska cast here. Okay, it needs.
But
to
what do you
happen.
talk about? Let's just talk about. Do you remember? I just think of Chris Farley's show on SNL where it was like, you remember the time this thing happened? That was awesome. You remember this ska song? It's really good.
52 degrees right now. We're going for a family walk. Wow.
75 here.
75. Cool Yellow has the switcher screen.
Yeah, I'm curious about it. So
Doing
we'll
a
see.
Moberg with F1 Mini in Pelican case.
That's like a Caleb Pike situation up in
Dude,
there.
Pelican, I did a tour of their facility.
I have the thing that you got, the little case.
It's super cool. It was.
I would have
nuts in
loved
there.
to go see
Oh,
that.
you would have loved it. You would have loved it. I mean, they had this. They had one of the things that made the cases. They called it Belle. It was like this giant thing, and it was like I loved how they gave it a cute name.
You know what I want to do? I'm going to put this out there. I've been watching, it popped up in my YouTube feed several years ago. People were doing tours of the Rode factory in Australia. Because
Why don't you just message them?
I didn't know that Rode actually manufactured their own stuff right there. And it's very cool. And when things open up, I would love to go take a tour of the Rode factory in Australia.
I think that'd be so cool. I think whatever video you make from that would be so
there we
fun
go.
to watch.
So
I'd be happy to be your assistant.
the road to Australia.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, Tom Buck, here we go. Thanks. Tom has to hold everything he talks about.
I don't know, visuals. I'm
All
a
right,
visual
guys.
learner.
Well, that was a great episode. What do you think?
That was fun.
Yeah,
Funsies.
that was fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's time to clear the table.
Okay, so another reminder. If you just jumped in, you missed the first part. Tom is teaching his very first webinar on Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you want to talk about what you're going to be...
5 essentials for starting your podcast. Basically, the biggest thing is what I want people to take away from it is when they leave, they feel genuinely equipped to go all right, I'm going to get started right now.
You can make the best podcast that you can make.
Don't get stuck in planning purgatory where nothing ever actually happens.
So definitely sign up, learn.himynameistom.com/webinar. And if you can't make it live, you'll get the replay, but you do need to sign up and it's free.
Free.
And I don't know, I'm just so excited. I think it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
You guys, you're going to see Tom
excited.
in his element. Teacher, look at that. Oh, cute.
Well, there we go.
All right.
With that being said, it is time to clear the table. Next week, waffles or pancakes?
Oh my gosh.
We actually have differing opinions on this.
Oh, that's totally where we should go get waffles or pancakes on the stream. Mobile.
Sure. We could do what James did and make the owner of the restaurant shut down the audio so everyone has to eat in silence.
Bye, guys. Fun
All
hanging
right.
out.
See you guys later.